good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Tiffany Para, host of Girl Powerhouse, where we celebrate women who are showing up and showing out in the world. Today, we have an amazing guest. Oh my goodness, y'all. Y'all are going to learn a little bit about me with this too, because this woman, man, she does something that was my favorite thing to do in high school. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her on in. Hello, welcome, Lisa. We've got
Hi.
Misipeka in the house. I'm so excited to have you today. I know it took us a while to be able to make this happen, but I am just so excited to introduce you to everybody out there in Mupo land. So everyone, let me just introduce Lisa Misipeka. She is a bronze hammer thrower award winner from the 1999 World Champions. She has been an Olympian. What was it? How many times were you an Olympian? Was it 3 times?
Three.
3 times. No, 3 times. Okay, and I'm telling you, being a thrower, that's just power right there. We're talking about girl powerhouse. That
Yes.
is power right there, to be able to throw the hammer, to be able to launch that shot put. I mean, it's just amazing. So
Thank
I'm
you.
just again so excited to have you here, and just thank you so much for what you do. We're about to just dig in, y'all. But
Yes.
before
Thank
we
you.
do, just tell the audience just a little bit about who you are and where you're from.
So the journey started back in 1975. I was born and raised in the South Bay in Torrance, California, to a beautiful family. Mother's firstborn American from Germany. Dad is immigrant from American Samoa. So was raised out there amongst some amazing people, and my journey started there. And then we moved to Temecula my sophomore year, and continued our journey and in sports and music and academics. So it's kind of where it all started. And there's just a lot between then and now, which I can't
Yeah.
wait to get to that. But yeah, that's kind of where it all started in Torrance.
Wow. Now, have you always been the athlete? Have you always been athletic since you were like little?
You know what? Yes. Some people they go down the musician road, some acting, some straight academics, reading. We were born and raised to be student athletes. That
Okay.
was the gift that we got. Is we were anointed to be athletes and student athletes, and so our whole life since I was young was spent either on a track or in a gym or on a court or on a field. So that's kind of where we learned all our life lessons is in a sport.
Love it, love it. And I love how you said student athletes, because that puts the academia to it as well, because it's not just about going out and, just being athletic, right? You have to have that strong mind behind it too. And I mean, I just love it. So let's talk
Thank you.
about, you are the founder of the Beyond Today Sports Institute. Let's talk about
Yes.
that. That is a little
You
bit
know,
about.
thank you. Being raised as a student athlete my whole life, the energy that was put out was to bring back educators, coaches, things like that. And so my whole journey, I've always looked at things as a coach and as a teacher. It's
Yeah.
just who I was and who I am. And so as I traveled with all of my Olympic Games and my World Championships, I started traveling globally. My first competition was in 1995, the World Championships in Sweden. It's when I first started. Yes, it was so awesome. I got to stay in Sweden. I lived in Switzerland at a millionaire's house who just wanted to bring the best athletes. And, we stayed with Christian Arab out in Switzerland, and we got to compete there. But I also learned when I was in Switzerland and Sweden and then Australia, I saw how education was just done a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And love my public school education out of Torrance. Like I went to J.H. Hall. I went to Howard Wood Elementary right there on
Yeah.
237th Street. I went to Torrance High, Legacy High School. Loved it.
Yep.
Um, but there's more. There is more. And when I traveled, that's when I got to see kind of a blueprint for how do you take someone that loves sports, loves education, loves to be treated like an Olympian, and how do you put that all in the educational system? That's where the Beyond Sports Institute, that's how it was birthed, was literally me being raised up in a Beyond Today Sports Institute. I didn't even know it. And then I went back to get my master's degree at Ohio University, and I was, we have capstone projects.
Yeah.
They said, my professor said, bring something to life that you feel will make an impact, a legacy for your children and the world. And that's where Today's Sports Institute came from. It was a no-brainer. We were already functioning in it, but then we just actually created a business out of it. And that's how it all started. Really was just the journey of being a student athlete, not one or the other. It's the hybrid between the two.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a beautiful organization that you have too. When I got a chance to come and visit and just see, just how everything is set up, it's just the synergy that you have created there is just absolutely amazing, and I just again I just love it. So I want to talk a little bit. We had talked before, we were backstage, and we had talked a little bit about this app that you have. It's the Achieved app. Let's talk about that app, because that kind of is going to bring some things together here with, Beyond Sports as well, and just
Yes.
everyone. Just taking it out to the world here. So
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. So, what is the blessing is that Beyond Today Sports Institute is able to reach so many families, but we are limited to the on-site brick and mortar reach. So you have to physically come to us to get all this love, for your kid to be treated like a warrior and like a celebrity, and for my husband, myself, and our staff to like just create this tool belt of weaponry so these kids can go out and just dominate in the world. But you have to be on site. So over the years, we've been working with our software engineer. He's amazing. All three of his children went through our program. So he got to take his mastery of creating ability to scale. And he said, you know what, I'm going to watch. And for 3-4 years, he's watched how we do what we do. And he created now an app that allows us now to reach the world with this love and this training. And it's just a different kind of discipline. It's a different device. It's a different access point. And I know that families are moving into so much into homeschooling and unschooling and world schooling. This is the ability to world school, right? You can be in the DR, you can be in Germany, and we can all like bringing kids together now, just not for highlights on Instagram, not just bringing kids together for TikTok and the latest and greatest Starbucks drink or the next dance. You're actually bringing now a community of children that can every day check in and get their mind tight and lock in, and at least the parents know. At least they know that the first 1 minute of their day, they can use the Achieved app, and at least they know they've done something to really try to set the day right. Good breakfast. It's a good breakfast.
Yeah, that's like so good for the brain, right, to start.
Yes. It's the ability to bring mindset through technology to the student athlete, and you don't even have to be an elite athlete. This is not just for the elite athlete. This is literally for the child that wants to be treated like a West Point kid, like a Stanford kid, or a Cal State kid, or even a junior college kid. Every kid wants to be treated like an Olympian, like a champion. And this gives them kind of a little bit of a recipe of, well, you know what, if you wake up in the morning and you put the empty toothpaste in the trash, well, you're on your way. Don't just leave it on the counter, right? You're on your way. You're being kind and courageous. So we're really excited to bring this hybrid of student athlete technology mindset all in the device that they use 24/7, which is their shelter.
24/7, exactly. You can't get them off the time.
No, Samaj.
I love that.
Thank you.
So look, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about this warrior mentality that I heard that. I heard you mention that just a minute ago. So we'll be right
Yes.
back, y'all. We'll talk about this. And we are back. This is Girl Powerhouse on MUFO Entertainment, MUFO TV. If you have not downloaded MUFO TV just yet, go to your iOS or your Android device, type in MUPO Entertainment, and you can download it and see all of the Girl Powerhouse episodes, as well as many more amazing shows. So we are back. This is Girl Powerhouse. We have our guest, Lisa Misipeka, and we are talking a little bit about just her coming up as an athlete, just a powerhouse, right? Her creating this amazing Beyond Today Sports Institute where it just marries, the academia and the athlete, and it really creates a space for them to just feel like they are that Olympian, they are that celebrity, they matter. They truly, truly do. So thank you so much for what you do, Lisa. So we talked a little bit about this warrior mentality, and you are the creator of that warrior mentality. So let's talk about that. So what's that warrior mentality that you're talking about?
Well, warrior mentality is kind of it's right in line with why I'm here with you. Honestly, a powerhouse. It is you're gifting people by bringing them a powerhouse of individuals that can bring their testimony to the power, right? And so the warrior mentality is right in line with that. The warrior mentality is a mentality that when you graduate and you certify that you are a warrior with a warrior mentality means that you are well equipped. So we've defined the WARRIOR. The W means you are well equipped for the inevitable, right? The warrior mentality is an insurance policy. Let's say it like that. The warrior mentality is an insurance policy that when your families invest and put you into Beyond Today Sports Institute, they graduate with 10 months of training to have a warrior mentality. So you're investing in an insurance policy that the inevitable is going to happen. They will get cut from a team. They will be bullied. They will be talked down to. They will be yelled at, whether it's on a sports team, a teacher who doesn't understand your students' different learning style. They're in a relationship that's not healthy. They're with a boss that doesn't trust them. Like the inevitable is going to happen. So the insurance policy is that you've invested in this warrior mentality. The W is that they are well equipped. The A is you have an attitude of intent, meaning kind of like, you're going out there and we're powerful. We're going to go out powerful today. And anything that happens is going to be used for gathering to create a powerful environment. So attitude of intent. You have RV, which is one of the most important ones, in my opinion. It's the ruthless voice. To have a warrior mentality, you have to have a RV, a ruthless voice, not verbally outward, inside. When there's no enemy within, and the enemy outside can do no harm. Native American proverb. And so when your ruthless voice inside is like, oh no, you did not just say that to me. Now remember, this is in their head. You did not just say that to me, so I'm gonna show you, buddy. Like, no, you're not gonna say that I'm a loser. I'm a waste of time. Like in my head, my ruthless voice is, oh, don't even get me started. And so then you move different when you have that RV. Then you have resilience. We all know resilience. The I is more intelligent. We don't have to be smart, but we have to be intelligent. It's different to have an intelligence, a common sense, right? I don't care what your IQ is. I just want you to be intelligent. And then the O is one of a kind. God made one of a kind. We have a unique DNA, and don't let anyone change it. We have to be the best versions of ourselves, but we are one of a kind, and don't become cattle. And then the last R is too, it's you are a respectful person, but you also
Mhm.
are respected. And it has to
Yeah.
go both ways. And so to be a certified warrior, that's really what the warrior mentality is. And we use those pillars to make sure that every day we're tending to one of them. And when the
Right.
kids go out, they're out and they leave beyond Monday through Thursday. So on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they're going to be challenged on one of those warrior isms. And so the
Right.
warrior mentality is that, and believe me, there's hundreds and thousands of mentalities, and I believe in every one of them. But what's unique about the warrior mentality, it is how I was able to go from Torrance High to Temecula, and a small high school, and in the Inland Empire, which was called Rancho California when I first got there. And how did I go from there and get recruited to Stanford and West Point and Notre Dame and South Carolina? How did I get recruited? Like how? And then once I
Yeah.
got recruited, how did I get those 11 All Americans and 5-time academic? Like how did that happen? Well, I had a warrior mentality ingrained in me from the beginning. So it's
Hmm. Hmm.
a map. It's a manual that you never get with your children. It's just it's a supplement to the family upbringing.
Wow. Wow. That's so powerful. So, so powerful. And it just resonates with me because I have that warrior mentality as
Yes,
well. And I
yes,
everyone needs to adopt that warrior mentality for
yes.
sure. Oh my God.
Thank you.
That gave me some fire right now.
That's why I love having these opportunities to speak with other powerful women that are change agents in their industries, and we all have a different platform, but at the end of the day, we're all just older girls that have dreams. We're just getting older, but we're still girls at heart. And at the end of the day, that's another thing is as a female and instilling this warrior mentality into our young ladies is
Yes.
very special, because we're coming up in a time where things are changing so rapidly and
Yeah.
aggressively. And
Hmm.
we want to teach our girls to have finesse and tact, how to be strong but feminine. Like it's a
Hmm.
balance. It's not easy, and you know this.
Yep.
We've had to knock some doors down, and we're like, should I wear my hair up? Should I put it back in a ponytail? Do I wear a dress or do I wear slacks? Like, how do I?
Hmm.
How come my resume has to be 15 times stronger
Right.
to be considered the same? So I'm not saying I'm anti-man at all. I love men. My husband's a beautiful man. I have a
Yep.
beautiful son. He's strong, and I want them to be men. But I also try to figure out how do we navigate our young women
Right.
to stand toe to toe, but also appreciate him opening the door for you. Like that's cool. Like that's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. So
Right.
anyway,
Yeah.
that's a
Don't
whole nother
like
topic.
this. Don't. What are you doing? Right. That's what
Right.
you see these days by some of these girls.
Yeah. Like really? Like
That,
pull your chair
that's them
out.
trying to show courtesy. There are still
Yes.
people. There's still men out there that are courteous, that want to open the car door
Yes.
the door for you, and pull your
Yes.
chair out, things like that. That's not weird. That's not weird, ladies.
No,
So
and it's not weak. It's like it's not weak
absolutely.
as a woman to accept a man being courteous and have chivalry. So we
Yes.
teach our boys at the academy, yes, warriors are strong, well equipped, and all that, but we also teach them to be gentlemen. My husband is from the South, and so
Oh
he
yeah.
has this beautiful genuineness, chivalry, and
Hmm.
it goes from talking to young baby girls to grown women that come around. It's like it's a beautiful appreciation, and
Yeah.
we teach our boys like so like if we are bringing up donuts to the school, right? We to bring a bunch of donuts to the academy, and they're like, oh my gosh, let's jump up and get the donuts. Like, no, you guys know what to do. All right, girls, go ahead, go get the first donut. Like it's started
Yes.
young, right? With those things. And so anyway, another topic, but
Yes. Oh, wow. Well, look, we're going to cut to another quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about another academy that you have started as well. So
Oh,
we will
thank
be right.
you.
Look, this girl Powerhouse stays busy, y'all. We'll be And we are back. This is Tiffany Parr, host of Girl Powerhouse on MUFO TV. We have our guest, Lisa Misipeka, here with us, and we are again just chatting it up with this Girl Powerhouse. Man, you are just doing some amazing things, sis, I
Thank
tell you.
you. Thank you.
So let's talk about another academy that you have, and this is the Lisa Misipeka Throws Academy. Okay, look, Throwing Academy. You know, after meeting you and talking to you, it makes me want to go and buy a shot put and start throwing again.
Yeah, not as a keychain though. That wouldn't work out so well.
So, what's this academy all about? Tell me about it.
The Lisa Misipeka Throws Academy was something that started. So in high school, I was basketball, volleyball, and track. And basketball is actually my heart. I love basketball, but at the time, the WNBA was not really a thing that you aspired to become a part of because just it was just wasn't as it is now. Oh my gosh, thank God it has gone to where it's gone now. But so I did track and shot put, discus in high school, and then I was exposed to an event called the hammer throw by Coach Higgins out of Cerritos and one of my mentors. Anyhow, we went on and did throwing. That's how I decided to take the scholarship in track and field and did my thing, 3 Olympics, and competed there. And then when I got back, and I coached for 21 years. I coached at NAU, Fresno State, UConn, and Northeastern. And then after coaching, my grandmother got sick and moved back to the IE. That's why we came back from Connecticut. So we got to spend some beautiful time with her. But while we were with her, we had a moment to pause. I was coaching for 21 years. My husband was in procurement and president's offices of the colleges. We didn't really have time to stop. But when we paused, because we came to be a grandma, she's just our angel. That's one of my powerhouse women was my grandmother. And so when we sat with her, she was going through dementia and Alzheimer's and all that. We couldn't talk a whole lot about a lot of things, but she always remembers me, and she remembered what I was doing and my passions. And so we decided to pause the coaching and reinvest in what families have always asked me to, is to help their children become better throwers, because that was what I mastered: shot put, discus, hammer, and weight. And so we started slowly, like, okay, I'll do private training. I'll work with your kid. And then it turned into 2 kids, and then turned to 3 kids, and then it turned into 2 locations. We have the IE group and the OC group, and we have the LA group to a third. So it just grew. It was natural. When God's moving, it just happens. It's like you turn around, you're like, wow, I've got a lot of followers. And so we were like, okay, but then what the families were giving us feedback, like, Lisa, you helped my child go from a football player at Great Oak High School to a hammer thrower who got a full ride to Stanford. Like, how did that happen? My daughter was a basketball player in Connecticut, and she got a full ride to Dartmouth to throw. Like, what's
Yeah.
going on? What's going on? And so you're not just a technical coach. So they're like, you warrior mentality to my thrower. You help them with recruiting. You help them with their strength and conditioning workout. So that's why we launched the academy, because I'm not just a trainer. I'm not just
Right.
telling you where to put your feet. I'm also
Hmm.
telling you to coaches and development, professional development, and how to be a recruitable student athlete. That's why we launched the Lisa Misipeka Throws Academy, and we have, like I said, we're very blessed to. We have now a whole other group that's graduated, moving on. They just moved into their dorms this week. So we've got Fresno State and Hope University and Columbia. We have kids everywhere, and it just keeps going. But that's what the academy does. It takes, because if you remember, that shot put in this is not easy. It's not,
Mm-mm.
right? It's very technical. It's People think it's just the biggest, strongest people.
No.
No, they do decent, but they tap out once their strength is done. Then you
Right.
get these little people that have such beautiful technique, and they beat
Hmm.
you by 2 feet, and you're like, wow, that's not even right. Like, now I'm
Right.
mad, right? Because they get this little girl, this little guy that do a
Right.
spin move. Their footwork is unbelievable. And
Yes.
so to me, the academy is like life. If you have good footwork and you have
Yes.
agility to shuck and jive, well, that's the spin move and the shot put. That's the spin of the discus. But that's
Right
also
there.
in business. If you can have agility, and James Brown said, feet don't fail me now. So if your
Okay.
feet move and you can adapt, so that's why the academy is more than just becoming a
Yeah.
thrower. And the
Yeah.
scholarship I got at South Carolina was worth $500,000.
Mm.
Like,
Mm. Mm.
the thing after the end of the day, that was $500,000 worth of education, merchandise, travel, apartments, everything. Now, don't get me
Right.
started on what they're getting now for scholarships and NILs,
Mm.
but that shot put, that 8-pound metal ball, or that metal frisbee that's only 1 kilo, it can take your kids and pay for all of college. And so that's what the academy is about. It's teaching the footwork, creating this warrior body and mentality, and then making them a recruitable student athlete. Because once they leave me, they should be giving their coach and that university a great kid that can be a brand ambassador for their university. So that's the Lisa Nisi Becker Throws Academy. And I'm going to recruit you next. I know you still have eligibility, Tiffany. I know you do.
Look, kid. Hey.
Yep.
Oh
Hey,
my
the
God.
NBA guys are doing it. The NBA
That,
guys are taking that 5th year of eligibility, and J.R. Smith is doing golf at the
okay.
university. Like, so I'm going to keep you out of retirement.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yep.
That is amazing. So
Thank you.
you had mentioned that your grandmother has been a major girl powerhouse in your life. Now, was she that number one girl powerhouse for you?
She's absolutely number one, because she invested in my dreams. My
Mm.
mom and dad are amazing, but they just graduated high school. Not just, they graduated high school, and mom, they had me very young, and so they did the best they could do.
Right.
But it does require, and this is the part that's hard, but dreams require water, and water is green. And if you
Hmm.
don't have financial resources, then it's very difficult. You can still make it, believe me. By no means was I rich. By no means was I able to do the things that some of my friends from Palos Verdes and Rolling Hills, and I didn't get to do all of that. However, grandma did work really hard, and she
Yeah.
took whatever she had and made sure that she watered the seeds that God planted in me, and she watered them with her money as much as she could. And because of those resources, I was able to be in some top camps. I was able to get with a couple great coaches, and then it just never stopped. And her unbelievable belief in me. Like, I could have had the 19 the 2000 and the night wait 2000 and 2000 Olympics,
Yeah.
right? Right after the 1999 Worlds where I won the bronze, and I was ranked third in the world. So I go into the Olympics in 2000, just 1 year later, and I was ranked third going in. I just got a new job also because I'm not gonna lie, Olympics doesn't pay a lot of money. The medal is beautiful, but it doesn't pay. So I worked like
Mhm.
4 jobs while I was training for my 2000 Olympics. I went in ranked third, came out 12th,
Mm.
and I was it was a very heavy, heavy, heavy time right at that moment. So I had to make the
Yeah.
calls, and I tell you, my parents had what they said, but then my grandma, unwavering belief, unwavering. Like I didn't know there were 11 other girls in the competition when I talked to my grandma. Like to
Wow.
her, and so having her as my number one powerhouse is critical because yes, I am blessed that my mother at a young age, of course, she probably is number one too because she didn't have to have me. There's a
Yeah.
lot of pressure to not, right?
Yeah.
But she did because she's stubborn. Thank God, and she's stubborn, and she did that. And so God gave her to me, and me to her. But my grandma's the one that was able to take me on and show me those things. And she's a worldly woman, so she exposed me to worldliness in my head. And
Yeah.
so yes, and then besides blood, then Maya
Yeah.
Angelou, of course, is another one that I just really I get so inspired. She could say the book, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that just meant a lot. Like she could say anything, and it's so
Right.
profound. So those are kind of my
Yes.
powerhouse ladies.
Oh, I love it. I love Maya Angelou is one of mine as well. I love, like you said, anything she can write. It just it's just amazing.
Right? It's so crazy. It's like when Whitney Houston, like she could read the phone book, she could sing the phone
Right.
book, right? And you're like, man, that's beautiful,
So
right?
do it
So
again.
say it again. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, those are my
So
ladies.
so every girl powerhouse has to have a girl powerhouse song. That song that just gets her going. That maybe it's when you got just an event that you're going to that you're getting ready for, or it's something maybe you're going to be competing or something. You
Yeah.
got that one song that just really gets you going. So what's your girl powerhouse song?
It's so crazy because you're 100% right. Music is everything. It is absolutely everything. It gets you out of your rut when you're sitting on the freeway. It gets you out of this. Or if I'm about to go into a interview or something, and the songs have changed, which is crazy in my life. Like they have changed as I have changed. And the one that's most recent, it might sound crazy, but when this song comes on, well, I got my one with my girl from college, and that's Real Love by Mary J. Blige, but that's a whole nother story, right? When that comes on, I stop my tracks. And she's now she's one of the chancellors at Vanderbilt. And so that comes on, that's amazing. But this one is the one that, like, if I hear it, no matter what I'm going through, and it sounds crazy, but I love the background, is Ain't No Stopping Us Now by McFadden and Whitehead. And it's because, you know, and I don't know if I know you've heard it, and it's just, ain't no stopping us now is because we're at that middle mile marker of the marathon,
Yeah.
and we've come too far to stop.
Hmm.
We're too big to quit. But then it's very steep now. We're at that point where it's like, oh my gosh, like I don't have my fresh legs anymore. The water doesn't taste good anymore. My knees are starting to buckle. My ankles are starting to hurt. Like we're at that middle marker now in our life and in our businesses and in our just raising our children. So when that song comes out, it just reminds me, ain't no stopping us now. Ain't no stopping us now. And I just need that, and the jingle to it and the tempo of the song. It just gives me a little bit more energy. It makes me more sprite in my step, and it just reminds me that you know what, we can do this. It's steep, but let's go. And so that's where I am today. I love R&B, and I love gospel. There's so
Yeah.
many gospel songs. I mean, when Yolanda Adams talks, speaks, sings,
Yeah.
she gets me. Or the Winans, when they say something, like they get me every time. But if I
Yeah.
had to do something a little bit more relatable, maybe it really is though. Ain't no stopping us now.
Yes. Ain't no stopping us now. I love it.
Absolutely.
Well, look, since I tell you, when we get on this show, our time goes by way too
Wow.
quick. I really want to thank you so much for joining me today and just taking time to share you and your girl powerhouse essence and just everything that you do. Everyone, if you would like to connect with Lisa, you can actually connect with her and get involved with Beyond Today's Sports Academy, or if you want to learn a little bit more about the Achieved app and being able to get involved in that. If you look at the ticker there, you can actually get in touch with her there at the Beyond Today Sports Institute.com.
Yes.
Lisa, would you like to say any words of wisdom, words of encouragement before we close up today?
You know what? I think that families need to continue to invest and listen to young, powerful individuals like yourself. You're bringing such a beautiful product to the world in a time that really needs love and happiness and joy, and those are things that will sustain you through the inevitable battles of the world. The world doesn't change, but what does change and what we have control of is our attitude and how we attack. And it's not, and to me, one of the words I'd love to leave with people is to be meek. And to be meek sounds like a weak word, but it is not weak. To be meek is a controlled discipline. It's a powerful assessment of, okay, what is needed to battle right now. And so I would say to be meek and to continue watching individuals like yourself. And hey, if you like what you hear, the Achieved app is the way to get a hold of us no matter what border you're on or what country you're in. The Achieved app is a way to get closer to that warrior mentality. But God bless everybody. And I'm very grateful to you, Tiffany, for having me on today.
Oh, thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you so much. So, one more thing: if they want to get the Achieved app, how can they get the Achieved app with you?
If they go to www.achieved.app, they're going to put in their contact info, and we're gathering. Like, tell us, like, let myself know, like, man, if I had this app, I would like this in it. It is literally we're in the beta phase and it is ready to go, but we need more villagers and we need more information. Like, what do you need for your child? What do you need for your teenager? So www.achieved.app, you just put your email in there, give us some feedback, and we will literally listen and read it's a small group of 3. We're not a big corporation. Our village is only going to grow if the aunties and the uncles and the grandmas and the grandpas and the moms and the dads, if you invest in the Achieved app by just giving us your info and your testimony and your needs, we'll adapt to what you guys need, because we're sure-footed. We got good footwork, but we need to hear what you guys need. That's what we're here for. We're here for your families. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for another episode of Girl Powerhouse. This one with our special guest, Miss Lisa Misipeka. I, again, am just so excited that we were able to have her in the room. And look, y'all might be seeing me out there throwing and stuff again. You never know. She might get me out of retirement, okay?
Yep, I got extra tools here for you. Thank you.
Thank you all so much, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.